has always been very intriguing for me to witness interactions with famous celebrities back in the day. There was a sense of comfort in genuinely expressing one's opinion with their interaction with the media, where during this time interactions were beyond chatter about who's dating who or brainless games of never have I evers or rapid fires that we are so inundated with. These interviews actually dwelled into learning more about the actors and digging deep into the ugly but real truth about the acting profession. The video is going to go down memory lane as well as highlight some interviews conducted recently of celebrities that provided us shocking information which led to great insight about the industry and the individual. So without further ado, here is Tried and Refused Productions with 7 classic Indian celebrity interviews that reveal shocking facts. Amitabh Bachchan. One of the most legendary actors of the country today is undoubtedly Amitabh Bachchan, a man that is the epitome of perseverance. Despite having several roadblocks in his career that has spanned over 5 decades, the man is a working actor that still inspires us with roles on the big screen. Talking about his career, the man has definitely seen more lows than highs in his illustrious career. Having over a dozen flops after his powerful role in the film Anand opposite Rajesh Khanna, an individual that was almost killed on the sets of Coolie in 1982 due to a horrific accident, was diagnosed with myasthenia that was thankfully not life-ending but found in its dormant stage, his small stint in politics that turned out to be disastrous in nature, further leading him to be embroiled in the Bofors case, and finally the most catastrophic financial venture with the launch of ABCL, Bachchan's own production company that would produce movies and live events, bringing corporatization into the film industry, a move which was revolutionary in nature but due to its misguided suggestions and takeovers, Bachchan found himself in close to 90 crores of debt in the late 90s. In one of the most candid interviews with Veer Sanghvi, Bachchan spoke about the troubling times and how he persevered from the phase, as that's the only way he knew rather than giving up.
So there were about 90 crore rupees to be paid back. There were about 55 legal cases that were
55?
against... Yeah. And there were creditors on the door every day. Very embarrassing, very humiliating. People whom who had wanted access to AB Corp or access to meeting me, and who were kind of excited by the fact that they were associating themselves with the company and with me and Jaya, suddenly changed their expressions on their faces, became very hostile, became very humiliating and rude.
Sunny Deol. Sunny Deol was one of the biggest stars of the 80s and 90s in Bollywood. More than his acting talent, Deol was celebrated for his intensity on the big screen, something that he had proven was extremely effective in films such as Ghayal, Damini and Gadar. The only Deol after his father, who was a dependable leading hero in movies. Sunny's leading role and the reaction of the audience was tested to the limit when he did the 1993 film Dar opposite Shah Rukh Khan and Juhi Chawla. The 90s was a time where the actor's image and how it was showcased to the masses was extremely important. Villains like Ranjit would carry out ghastly acts on screen and the leading men like Deol would save the day. So at this point of time, Shah Rukh, who was relatively unknown to the masses, took the plunge of becoming the antagonist in a Yash Chopra film, not fearing to get typecast but genuinely doing the role as an acting job. Sunny Deol was sure of himself as the leading man in the film but slowly and steadily noticed problems during the shooting of the film, as the narrative was slowly shifting towards Shah Rukh's character Rahul and Sunny's character Sunil was becoming a mere spectator. The issues had increased even more after the release of the film, as Shah Rukh was getting showered with accolades and Sunny was barely getting any recognition. It is rumoured that Deol was awarded the Best Actor in a Supporting Role award for Dar, and in a fit of rage he had left the award in the toilet backstage. The actual assumption was that Yash Chopra had made a star with Dar in the form of Shah Rukh and completely sidelined Sunny Deol.
Shah Rukh मुझे चाकू मारता है, तो उधर काफ़ी मेरी बहस हुई थी कि देखो मैं एक कमांडो ऑफिसर हूँ और इतना एक्सपर्ट हूँ और इतना फिट हूँ और ये लड़का है, ये मुझे कैसे मार सकता है? जो मैं मार सकता है अगर मैं देख ना रहा हूँ, मैं उसको देख रहा हूँ मुझे चाकू मार देगा तो मैं कमांडो कहाँ का रहा? इतना गुस्सा आ गया था कि मैंने अपने हाथ जीन्स में डाल दिए थे और मुझे पता ही नहीं था कि इतना गुस्सा था कि मेरी पूरी पैंट फट गई थी.
Zeenat Aman. One of the brightest and courageous women of the 70s and 80s was Zeenat Aman, a lady with extreme elegance and sex appeal. Zeenat Aman was considered to be one of the most desirable women of the country then. Sadly, the individual's professional success somehow did not transfer over to her personal life. The actor, despite being loved and lauded in the public sphere, was subjected to torment and abuse in the personal end. Many people knew about the public act of violence that Zeenat Aman was subjected to by a very popular actor in the industry. The act was only stemmed from insecurity and a relationship based on regressive roles of a man and a woman. The incident by onlookers is remembered as horrific and inhuman. But as the actor has been mature and dignified as the years have gone by, reacted in this manner in her interaction with Simi Garewal.
Right now in my mind, for many years in my mind, it's been obliterated because I think that's what the human mind does. When there's something distinctly unpleasant, you just close your mind to it and pretend that it never happened.
What a lot of people don't know is that Zeenat Aman was married to a lesser known actor by the name of Mazhar Khan, who she had 2 kids with. Zeenat Aman, in the same interview with Simi Garewal, spoke about the unhappy relationship, the abuse of drugs and pills by her husband, and how she realized that she had made a mistake in the first year of the relationship. It has definitely been a rocky road for the reputed and legendary actress.
Who looked after you in all these years? Nobody. But that's what happens, Simi. You give and you give and you give and you give. And then there's nothing left to give. Yeah. Because you're completely wrung out and depleted. Yeah. And that is what you want at the end of the day, is somebody to say, well, how are you today?
Sanjay Dutt. You want to talk about a man who has just had problems and some way or the other life has given him a second, third, fourth and countless chances? It is Sanjay Dutt. The man has gone through quite a tumultuous time, from his drug addiction to his mother's demise before the first screening of his film and getting embroiled in the 1993 Bombay riots case after it was found that he had illegal ammunition. The man somehow is a living, breathing and thriving actor even today. There is a documentary titled To Hell and Back that was released in 1996, which took several interviews of the actor, individuals from the media, as well as his family, which took a real and ugly deep dive towards understanding what Sanjay Dutt's personal and professional life was exactly like. In a snippet from the documentary, Sanjay Dutt spoke about his health, especially during the time he was actively working in films. When you further watch the compelling documentary, you realize that the actor in the early 90s and Mumbai at the time was a different world altogether.
I was doing heroin and cocaine and stuff like that, and I used to be whacked out all the time. Even I can't watch those movies of mine. I really can't. Zameen Asman, books? Huh? We all buzzed, all the time. Oh.
Sushmita Sen. A lot of people judge, and I am guilty of this, individuals in the public limelight just by their performances in films and relevance when it comes to debates and chatter around them. If they are not featuring in films, then of course they are failures professionally, and if they are nowhere to be seen, then of course they couldn't keep up with the fast-paced life that is the film industry. But there is little to no effort to actually understand what is happening in the lives of the people that have disconnected from films, or at least have distanced themselves from a brief amount of time. Sushmita Sen was and is a symbol of bravery and resilience for many women out there. An individual that featured in extremely offbeat films as a leading lady, and in the personal front never really cared about the public perception of her as a single mother of 2 adopted kids. In an interview with Rajiv Masand, Sen communicated her frustration of constantly getting misquoted, the reason for her supposed disappearance from the public limelight, and why aesthetically she looks so different compared to just a few years ago. It makes you introspect on how rumors can go beyond crazy if there isn't a statement by the actors themselves.
I had gone into an adrenal crisis. So the next thing after that would have been my organs packing up one by one. But for some reason, I came back from it and was declared steroid dependent for life, which means that I had to take a medicine called hydrocortisone, which is a steroid, every 8 hours to stay alive.
Amir Khan. When people from the industry talk about talents, having a keen eye for the screenplay of films, they all talk about Amir Khan, a man who can easily foreshadow how a written script will translate on the big screen. Where there is a creative skill which is hard to come by, my biggest gripe also with the talent in the film industry is how reserved they are when it comes to their financial deals in films. Where a lot of people criticize successful actors of today for their high prices, Amir Khan, in a writers' summit, spoke very candidly about how he makes money in films and the importance of making everyone financially secure throughout the financial chain. The most insightful part of the interview was his explanation of the finances of a movie like Talash, which a lot of people consider to be his most underperforming film financially.
जितने लोगों ने जो cost निकल गया है, when everyone is paid and all costs are recovered, I become a percentage in profits. तो अगर फिल्म अच्छी नहीं चली और नहीं अच्छी बनी तो मैं नहीं कमाऊंगा. तलाश जो फिल्म है, तलाश मेरी फिल्म है, वो 95 crores उसने किया. अब आमतौर पे लोगों को लगता है ये मेरी फिल्म जो थी ये नाकामयाब रही, बहुत कामयाब रही, हमको एक्चुअली ओवरफ्लो मिला.
Rekha. One of the most mysterious actors is undoubtedly Rekha. Where today we mostly see her in award functions with little to no appearances in films, Rekha even in her prime was extremely secretive or just to be kind mysterious in her demeanor and answers. There were several rumors about her relationship with Amitabh Bachchan, whether such a thing even existed. In an interview with Simi Garewal, the host bluntly asked her, as the actor had featured in close to 10 films with the actor, that whether in the process she had fallen in love with him. To make matters even more odd and confusing, Rekha to Simi Garewal's shock also confessing to something which was definitely tough to digest and impossible to agree with.
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
This is headlines, okay? There was never a personal connection with him.
And that was the video, guys. Write it down in the comments below if you have some video ideas for our channel. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.